Hey everybody, this is Scott and Jackie again from Story Driven Marketing, and we're so happy to have you in this group, networking, sharing a story, and who knows, like however you connect, whether you do a project together, maybe gain clients, maybe teach, learn something, however you're here, like why are you here, thank you so much for being a part of this. And last week, remember that we gave you homework, that there was a link underneath the last video to click on lead funnels and basically just start just in 5 minutes getting started to build your database, which is going to help to really grow your business.
Sweet. So, Scott, how did you go with your lead page?
Oh, I didn't do it. I was busy.
You didn't do it?
Yeah, it was a busy week. It was just, you wouldn't believe it. Just like so much family stuff on. There was that, public holiday that we just had.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So not 5 minutes spare at all?
I don't know, maybe, but it's unbelievably busy. Like you just wouldn't get just how unbelievably busy my last week has been.
So you're telling me if you grabbed your calendar right now that I couldn't look at it and find some breaks, like just 5 minute break to do the lead page?
Well, I don't actually, on my diary, I don't actually break it down into 5 minute spots.
I think you need to see the big picture of what the 5 minutes can do. Just the 5 minutes, spending that, just 5 minutes, getting a coffee takes 5 minutes. It's barely any time, and it's pretty much planting a seed to what you can do to grow your database, grow your business, and just like amazing traffic, amazing potential.
Okay, I get it. So 5 minutes. I will spend 5 minutes clicking the link and doing the lead pages tomorrow.
How about after this?
Okay, straight after this.
Good.
Deal.
So Scott, that was actually the first of our 7 myths that we're going to talk about today. The myths that are self-sabotaging success in your business and success growing your database, getting more sales, getting more conversions. So we're going to go through right now and tell you the remaining 6 myths of how you can be currently self-sabotaging your business.
Yeah. The second one is that, let's say that you did click on the link for lead pages, but then you got a little bit stuck on the sign up. So like they ask you questions like, well, do you want the 14-day trial, or do you want to pay up front, or do you do an annual, do you want to do monthly, do you want the small, medium, or advanced plan? And so we found that like if you pay monthly for the standard plan, which is all you need to do, if you do a 14-day trial, which means that you could write on your calendar in 13 days, cancel the plan and start again with a new email address if you want, or just by paying $37 a month, which is slightly over $1 a day, just slightly over $1 a day, you can get started straight away. And they are going to ask you questions like, what is your name? Where do you live? Just billing addresses, things like that. And they'll ask for a credit card. But you can't get stuck there. Like if you can basically clear your desk, turn your phone off, give yourself that 5 minute period, you'll be able to sign up. But a lot of people, they actually do get stuck at this point. They'll be like, this is annoying. It's annoying that they're asking me questions. But just clear the desk, clear the schedule, give yourself that 5 minutes, and you'll be good to go. You'll never need to sign up for it again because that step's done. And then you can move on to the exciting steps, which is more kind of building a tribe, earning the money. And the same as like when we talk about like, well, what do you do with it next after you've basically signed people up? Once you've got them on the database, that stuff gets really cool, really fast, really exciting.
Maybe you didn't do it because you didn't know what's next, or you didn't know where the money is. You don't understand like how creating a lead page gets you money and how that can get you sales. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to teach you how to use a lead page to get sales and make it work. So we'll go into more detail later, but pretty much to make a lead page effective, what you need to do is first give value to your client, and that's by giving some information to them that solves their problem. You can do this through giving away an ebook, a webinar, or just some kind of content that solves one of your client's problems. And then after you do that, you can make an offer, and they're likely to say yes because we buy things that solve our problems. And then you just keep doing it. You will give more value to them, and you can make more offers, and that's how you get sales. You give value, get a sale. Give value, get a sale. And it's really that easy. You just need to know how to do it. And there's more steps that we'll go into later. But that's, how you can make money from using a lead page.
Absolutely. And it's kind of interesting at this point, which brings us to the fourth myth. Let's say that you want to use your lead page to give value, then you want to use it to then make sales, but you got some writer's block. So you're like, well, there it is. What do I sell? This is a common one. So like literally, like if you just break it into these two halves, are you right now on your page, like you just got to think about what's the purpose of this particular page. So different from a web page, like where you've got like these menus and all these things, you know, like 90s style, like where it has all these millions and millions of like different archives and tabs and things. A lead page is very simple, and it pretty much usually has just something like a banner at the top, a headline, maybe a video or some text, and a call to action. And that's kind of it. There are more advanced versions, but that's kind of the bones of it. We sometimes call this the HOC, which is the headline, offer, call to action. That's just like a very, very brief summary of like, well, what am I going to put on one? Banner, HOC, pretty much like that. So if you're a brick and mortar, obviously you might have like your address. If you're somebody who does you're giving away like an ebook or a webinar or something, again, just like headline, offer, call to action. But I want you to think about it like this. If you're solving a problem as a freebie, you're giving away an ebook or you're doing a video, what I want you to think about is write down like, what are some problems that your client has that they want solved? And just like, what's the next step? Like what is, let's say if we call it just like problem and promise, 3 steps how to fix blah, blah, blah. 3 ways salt lamps changed my romantic life at home. Or whatever it is that you're like, or 15 easy techniques to attracting high paying coaching clients. Or like if you're in the health industry, like 3 emotional triggers that help cure addiction. Or like, what is the problem that you're helping people with? So if you're giving away a freebie, just think about what's the problem and just offer a free thing that helps them with that. Don't talk about your products yet. Don't talk about your services yet. Don't talk yet about what you're selling. Don't make it about your features and benefits yet. Literally just solve a problem. This is how you build your database. This is how you get like a really big community, because you're thinking from their point of view. And then when it comes time to sell, make sure that, again, you just use the same thing, but this time either you're getting their name, email address, and phone number so you can ring them up and book them in, or maybe you have a payment button where they can give you money straight away. If you're seeing a client for a scheduled time, maybe you've got a calendar that comes up so they can pick their own time, or maybe you call or message them. But if you're selling like physical products, maybe you have a catalog, maybe you have like a menu for people to go through so they can start buying things. So you just want to think about like one or the other. Are you giving value right now, solve a problem, or are you selling something right now, offer it, and do a follow-up sequence? And that's basically it. It's like writer's block should not come up as long as if you know your market, you know what the problems are that they have that your products can solve.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Maybe the reason you didn't do the lead page is because you've tried it before and it didn't work. Maybe you've tried a lead page and you put money on it, maybe with a Facebook ad, and you put lots of money on it and you didn't hear anyone. You didn't get any sales, you didn't get any calls, you didn't get any even emails. You got nothing from it. It felt like pretty much just like a ghost town on your landing page. It was like you're just almost talking to yourself. And so that's why you didn't try it, because you've tried it before, it didn't work. But the thing is, just because it didn't work before doesn't mean the landing page is wrong. It just means it was done wrong. Because actually, when done right, it becomes a self-funding traffic source. Because when you say you put $5 on it with Facebook ads, just $5, and I don't know how much your product is because there's a lot of people listening right now, but say your product is $500 and you get 1 sale from that, or if your ebook, maybe something smaller, it's $27 and you get 1 sale from your $27, you've already made profit. And that's what the beauty of landing pages, when you do it right, it's self-funding. And so you can literally set it up and keep it going again and again and again. All you need to do is do it right. And when you do it right, it's a non-stop traffic source to your business. And even if you've done it before and you did it wrong, we're going to show you how to actually do it right.
That's really cool, because like thinking about myth 6, we're talking about how to make grow your business, how to make a really big tribe and following out of lead pages. However, let's say that you've been mentored by somebody else in the past, or you're currently being mentored by somebody. Maybe you're in 2 or 3 mentoring groups and you go like, hang on Scott, hang on Jackie, I hear what you're saying, but my mentor has a different plan for me. And whatever it is that we're saying could be different from what your mentor says. And like, my mentor says, do it this way, do it that way, do it that way. And I can't listen to anything that contradicts that, because then I've got 2 plans instead of 1. But all we're really asking for you to do is to just zoom out a little bit. Instead of always looking at the specifics, like, yes, that's one way of doing it, and yes, that's one way of doing it. What are the inalienable things that you always need to do in business? Like, that's what we're going to be talking about TRACK soon, which is an acronym that breaks down the 5 things that you will need to do in business that we're not talking about yet, we're talking about very soon. But thinking about, like, what do you actually need to do in business? You need to grow a database, you need to build trust, you need to sell, and then you got to deliver a product. That's pretty much it. Like, if you sort of go 5 steps, find new people, keep their details, build trust by solving problems through ebooks or blogs or videos or webinars, whatever it is that you do, offer something, and then keep them around a bit, like, have some really great service. Those things, no matter which mentor you have, like whether it's us, whether it's somebody else, those are jobs that need to be done in every single business. It doesn't matter if you're brick and mortar, or if you're online, or if like your laptop lifestyle, like traveling around the world, kind of being some sort of a superstar. Like, these are the things that has to happen. Like the media, the way it's been in the past, newspapers, television, or like, you know, traditional marketing means like business cards, like I specialize in being the best at whatever that is, lawyer, accountant, butcher, baker, candlestick maker. All those things are dead, and these 5 steps are literally the only way to get ahead these days. If you're looking at the big picture, then we will zoom into the specifics. But literally, if you just sort of go, let's just summarize to 3. Build your tribe, build trust, make sales. It doesn't matter whose plan you're following. Those things are going to have to happen. And lead pages is a perfect way to start building your tribe and adding trust. And it's the perfect way to also start selling. Offer more frequently, follow up. It's a brilliant system.
It really is a brilliant system, Scott. And our last and final and my very favorite myth of why you didn't do your lead page is you got your VA to do it. And so you didn't do it, your VA did it. And the reason this is my favorite, and I find it a little bit amusing really, is because I didn't realize VAs went to marketing school. And I didn't realize VAs became a VA because they wanted to be the leader in marketing. I thought, and maybe they wanted to own their own business and be successful and conquer the world. I thought that's what you're here for. Your VA is just looking to make money. They're looking just to make ends meet. They don't really care. They don't have that same passion that you do. And the problem with that, trying to just give your VA the work, is they won't put that same effort into it, and that attention to detail, and they don't have that same knowledge that you have and you've gained through all of your time in business. And the thing is, as Brendan says, you as a business owner, you need to know every single part of your business so you know how it works. And essentially, so if you know how everything works, you can monitor it, you can improve it. If you're just passing everything off to your VA, you don't know what they're doing. Maybe they just put a page up. Who knows if it works? And if it doesn't work, you've just wasted more money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you're really looking to expand this, let's say that you want to get this done fast, you want to get your lead pages up because you're looking to grow your business, you're looking to, 2 times, 10 times your list, you want to get more reoccurring clients. You basically, let's say if we break it down into this, you want bigger basket size, more customers, more return visits, more referrals. If you want those kind of things happening, well then you've got to look at this as a big picture, and we want to help you. We want to get you to come and see us in person if you're someone who wants to make this explode. Because there's like the lead page, what happens before it, what happens after it. We're going to get you to come and see us in person to do these things with us. And we were talking about the TRACK acronym, which is exactly, the TRACK is an acronym. So each letter, so the TRACK, they all stand for something. The 5 things you need to do, and there's only 5 in business. If you do these 5 things, let's say plus the admin accounting, like we're not including that. We're really talking about the marketing. There's 5 things in sequence that no matter what you've been taught by who, it always comes down to these 5, and it always comes down to this order. And so when you come and see us in person doing a 1-day, full-day workshop, bring your laptops, bring your pens, bring your highlighters, bring your energy, bring your game, and make sure that you're ready to go hard and fast that day, because we're going to be covering everything from start to finish in these 5 columns, where what you're going to achieve that day is going to be more than you've achieved in the last 3 months or 6 months of business, because this is the marketing that works today.
Yeah. Just think one day and you've covered, no matter like what your mentor says, every single business needs these five parts of the track acronym, which we will teach you. It's just so powerful, and it really, these days in business, you need to see business as in terms of what it is currently, because it's changed. In terms of marketing, it has changed. And the businesses tomorrow that succeed are the ones that take advantage of this track acronym, and the ones that take advantage of lead pages and know how to use online marketing, because that's the way of marketing. It's what it is now. If you're still doing the traditional ways, that's the businesses that actually fail. And we don't want you to fail, because we know how hard you're working. So we want to see you get some great results and, double, triple your list and get a lot of sales coming in the door.
Yeah. The first letter of track, the T, stands for traffic. And so this is really awesome. So coming up from like where Jackie's talking about how the world has changed, marketing has changed. There's traditional forms of, as we're saying, traditional forms of marketing that are dead. There's online and offline. We sort of break it down into these two categories. Offline stuff, let's say that you turn up to an event, you network, you find other people that are potentially promotional partners. Like if you're really switched on and you know what you're talking about, and you can identify people that have big lists, like 5,000 people email addresses on the list, 10,000 email addresses, plus those email addresses are relevant to you. It's not kind of like you in such different industries that there's no point networking, but that you've found the right person who that you can add value to each other. That kind of stuff is massive. That's a huge and very, very quick way, if not the fastest way to grow your list, is through other people's lists. Find 10 people with 10,000 people on a list. Like that is something that is underutilized, and people don't set up and schedule the time to do those things. But we'll talk to you about that, the techniques and how to do that, because you can't just go around demanding it. It's like that you there with a 10,000 person list. Well, why should they promote you? We'll talk about that, and we'll give you techniques how to grow your list that way. But the online stuff is where the game's going to be won in business. So even if you say, I'm not a Facebook person, I'm not a LinkedIn person, I don't even know what that is. What's a Facebook person? What's a YouTube person?
I am a LinkedIn person, but I'm not a Facebook person. So you're the owner of LinkedIn, but you're not the owner of Facebook?
It's like when the doctor delivered the baby, they've announced, congratulations to the mum, you have a Facebook baby. Yeah. What is that?
Facebook positive.
Facebook positive, yeah. I don't spend that much time on Facebook. Good, because you don't want to, but you just want to use it because there's 4 billion people on Facebook, and people go,
do spend that time on Facebook. They're there, yeah.
Use the time they're spending for them to be able to see your stuff. Again, at the workshop, that's what we're going to be doing, is showing you with traffic across the platforms, how to come up with one lead magnet that works for all of the platforms, but also the differences between them, and why it is that you need to why is this one better for that kind of stuff? Why is this one better for that kind of stuff? Because this stuff's really important, that you need to be on the internet. I think that the internet's going to kick off. I think it's
only just going in an upward, we don't know what's coming next. All we know is traditional marketing is gone.
Yeah.
And all we know is that marketing on the internet is how, all the leaders in business are getting sales.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna kick off and just get stronger and stronger as more people spend more and more time on social media.
Yeah.
And it knows, and the thing is, Facebook, it's so smart. It knows everything about us. We never used to know that kind of thing about our audience. We literally can own an audience now. You can literally have a following of your exact audience on your social media, and it's just amazing.
Yeah. Think about here's planet Earth. A whole bunch of it's water. What is it? 2/3? Something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
There's no customers there. So where's all the customers? And you're well, some parts are desert. All right, well then where do you go? Well then there's all these cities. And the city seems to be the highest, concentration of where humans are. But there's one place that has a higher concentration of humans than cities. Literally, it's the internet.
The internet.
It's it's its own world.
Yeah, it is its own world.
If over half the planet
is cloud.
Over half the planet's on Facebook, and then across the other ones, LinkedIn has more of a businessy sort of business to business one. Facebook just has everybody. YouTube is for a different style. If you wanted to basically build trust over time, it's a really good one for that. We will talk to you about how to grab those traffic sources, but there's a problem. If you grab the traffic, they land on your page, and then that's it. and then you hope they have good memories, and they never come back again, well, that was a waste of traffic. Like, people can be like on TV, promoting my book, promoting my product, promoting my whatever, and then you get your 15 minutes of fame, but,
And I watch it, I see it, and if there's no, if they just talk about it, I'll listen, and if there's no call to action, I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
I'll just turn the TV off, move on with my life, and you've just lost, all that hard work, and you've lost that lead.
If you could get so many people to your page, what's the smartest thing to do once you get people onto your page?
So the smartest thing to do is the next letter in the CHACK acronym.
Yeah.
So the smartest thing to do is, we're going to talk about R next. So R is about retention and being able to, you've made all that effort to get people to your page. So you don't want them just leaving and exiting, moving on. You want to actually get their details so you can then, remarket to them later, and not just once, but you can keep going because they're on your list and they're in your database. So that's a continuous lifetime client right there. So the way to do this is you've got to get their details, and the details you're after is their name, their email, their number. And the way to do this, because people aren't just going to give you their email address. You have to give them something of value, like we've talked about before. So if you give them you've got to give them a product that solves one of their problems. So they think, I need that. Pretty much something little, just that is good enough for them to hand over the email address. And but what we'll do at the workshop is we're actually going to go into detail, because you can set this up, but without carefully considering each component, it won't be as effective as it could be. Maybe you've got 50 people going to the lead page. You want all 50 to go onto your email list. However, doing things wrong can actually affect that. And we're going to talk about in detail how headlines are a huge contributor. You go to a lead page, and the big headline is a big contributor to whether people will actually opt in to your freebie. And it really is they'll see it and they'll make that decision based on that headline. So that headline needs to grab them. Otherwise, there's no point of doing it. And we will show you exactly how to make a headline that the formula of how to do it to make people want to give you their email and their number, and they're happy to. The other thing we're going to talk about in the workshop in more detail is how important it is to, if you're giving something of value to them, you want to be able to make it into a product, because it's hard. Say maybe you've got a service business and you're giving some kind of service, like maybe it's a free class. Like, that's not really a product. You need to turn it into more of a package, and so people feel a little bit, because then they see it with more value and they want it more. As soon as think of it as a box, as soon as it's actually something they can grab, it's a lot more valuable.
Because in the brain, literally, the brain has sensors. Like, the brain's only about the size of a fist. I know this because of my past job, hypnotherapy, psychology, all that kind of stuff. The middle of the brain's mostly blood, and the frontal lobe's this little bit at the front, and it does logic, puzzles, and all those kinds of things. The rest of it is very much interacting with the sensory, pictures, sounds, and feelings. If you make a box, people can see it, they can touch it, they can hear it when it drops. If you're trying to sell a service, it's a little bit hard to conceptualize as a picture or sound or feeling. That's why you always turn your service into a product, or whatever it is, it's in a box. It's like, well, what am I getting? Well, all those things are in the box. This morning, when I was saying that I hadn't done the lead page thing, well, I set up an opt-in page, and this morning I did a post, and with a headline and a call to action, and within just a few hours, I had 55 people give me their name, their email address, and phone number. And the headline, basically, it was something like follows this formula: how to, or 3 ways how to problem promise.
Yeah, and so what? Just to explain that, if you didn't really understand what Scott's done, is he's literally just used a formula, the same formula that you'll use, and then put what problem they have into it, and put what promise and what you can give them of value into this formula. And that's the reason you got so many people saying I want that, because it solves their problem.
Plus the consistency as well. Like, this is not for people who want to be a flash in the pan one time and be like, oh, I tried it once and I didn't become rich. Like, this is not get rich quick. that's basically like one of the big issues like with this whole internet marketing industry is that it kind of started off with people that were kind of just like greedy or just like preying on people that are greedy, going like, you can make $1 million in 12 seconds if you follow it. It's like, forget that stuff. What you want to be and what we can promise is that like, well, nothing basically, but what we can promise is like that if you're dedicated and you want to make this your life's work, then very quickly you can become financially free and you can grow something if you're willing to make the mistakes, if you're willing to basically do the hard work, because it's like we see it as simple, but we've done a lot of work to be able to see it as simple. That's why we want you to come to the workshop. So we can help you. We can get our eyeballs on your work and basically tweak it. Like that's what we do with each other's work. That's what we do with our clients' work. That's what we'll be doing with your work.
And I think like just look at the alternative. So you could, spend some time just to learn the skill and, see it as simple, which we now see it as simple, or not. Or you can just continue in your business as it is. Maybe I don't know your situation. Maybe you're not getting many leads, or maybe you're not at that level of financial security or freedom. So it's really up to you if you want the financial freedom, or if you just want to continue working as an employee for your business, or if you want to actually own your business and have like almost like an asset working for you.
Set it up.
Yeah, get it going. Like I said, the self-funding the source, like it just keeps going once you set it up with the right gears and the right systems.
Yeah.
It just keeps bringing in new leads.
Exactly. What's the next letter?
The next letter is A. And A stands for authority. And what this pretty much means is you're delivering consistent value to build trust with your audience that you've just brought them in, and to give them information. And this shows them that you're an expert and you know what you're talking about. It's solving their problems. And by doing this, they're happy to buy from you, because if you can show them that you know what you're talking about and you can solve their problems, people want their problem solved, so they will buy. It's just a matter of actually showing them that you can do it. And the way to do that is actually doing a series of providing a series of values to your audience. And maybe that's through videos. Maybe it's you set up your emails to have a video every week for 5 weeks. That gives more and more value. Maybe even 3. It doesn't need to be that many. Maybe you set up a Facebook group where you consistently give them value. And then by doing this and by consistently giving them value, constant value, they're thinking, wow, this person's amazing.
Yeah.
As soon as you go to make an offer and say, okay, so I've done the brief version, we can do the more advanced and the higher level of whatever you're selling, whatever you're giving value for before, if they got value from it, they will say yes. Because there's no reason for them not to say yes, because it's going to solve their problem, and they know it will because they've seen it will.
There's this isn't just messaging people randomly. This is strategic. And so there's 3 things when you come and see us, 3 things we want you to set up around your authority. Is basically, one is like your customer journey map, which is problem, promise, path, to know what those steps are. So that, imagine as you're emailing things out, as you're contacting people on social media, that the journey that you're talking about grows with the viewer. They're coming along with you. And so it's the way to win this game is that the more you know and plan out their point of view and not yet yours. Like, don't go like, I've got an event to fill and I've got to do it quickly. And sort of kind of just thinking about you, and like, this is a mistake people make. They spend too much time awfulizing their own situation, instead of like, you can talk about pain all day, but talk about theirs. Get inside their head, map out your client journey, problem, promise, and the path. And then your calendar. Like, this is, one thing we're going to get you to set up is your release calendar. It's like, if you know what the journey is, you can then schedule strategically, what's the next message? What's the next headline? And this is the stuff that really works. And then the story, that every time that you put a story out with a framework, it's got to be relevant. Like, stories aren't just like, I was at the footy on the weekend. Like, is that really related to what we're trying to sell here?
Like, it is if I was also at the footy, but I don't like footy, so I don't care. And there they go.
Exactly. So basically, the story and frameworks that you're giving people, again, it fits in with the customer journey map and the schedule, and then the story framework. You're going to be setting those 3 things up when you come and see us at this full day workshop. That's why it's a full day, and it's a hard pace. We're basically going to be fitting weeks of work into something where there will be homework after the event, but you can finish the entire framework of this and then get into the Facebook group with us and then show us like what you've done, like, you know, keep the community going.
Yeah.
Because this is the stuff that works today. If you're willing to do it, if you're willing to be strategic and not just like message out anything to people, if you're willing to be not just a flash in the pan that does it once and go like, oh, it wasn't as big the first time I did it. It's like, you remember like, you know, posts that we've done, like new projects we've done. The first one wasn't anywhere near as big as what we wanted, but the consistency, the strategy, this is how it works. It grows. The same as like, you know, I was talking about sales that I made through emails. Just over the last week.
That was fascinating.
Yeah. 80% of people buy on the last 48 hours. First email, second email, nobody bought.
Yeah, Scott was actually saying to me, we were at an event together, and he was saying no one's bought to me. And you could just see the disappointment in his face because no one had bought yet.
Even though I know this stuff.
He knew this. I mean, he looked disappointed, and I'm thinking, oh, but remember you told me last 48 hours, remember? But he still looked disappointed. So Scott could have just given up at that point and said, okay, I've sent out a few emails. I've said, I've got a product and no one's buying it, therefore no one cares. But he didn't. He kept going and he had the consistency. And therefore when the last 48 hours came, so did the results.
Full disclosure, I didn't have to do anything in the last 48 hours. I had set up already. Before any of this stuff had started, I had set up my email sequence. So it doesn't matter what I'm feeling along the journey. But most people, if they don't make any sales on the first like couple of contacts, even by email, which is crazy, they abandon everything. They don't set up the complete sequence all the way to the end. That's where you're going to get most of your sales, is through follow-up. Yeah. But you can automate the follow-up too. So like, why wouldn't you? As you come along, this is like the calendar that we'll be talking about. Set this up. Like, this is something that if you want to grow the business, you've got to be doing it strategically, which means that you've got to, like, if you want 80% of your sales to come through.
80%, that's huge. 80%. Yeah.
4/5 or...
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. Why would you not have a follow-up sequence? Because these days, people are being trained online to hang back and wait until the last minute. Like, haven't you done it yourself? Like, where somebody says, like, here's a cool offer, and you're like, cool, I'm really excited, and you've taken no action toward, you didn't click the link. Yeah. And then what you were waiting for was the next email to go, oh, I was waiting for like a reminder. It's like, you know, dinner's going to be ready in half an hour. Yeah. Then you don't come out in half an hour for dinner. You expect to be told, all right, dinner's ready now, or dinner will be ready in 2 minutes, dinner 5 minutes, 2 minutes, dinner's ready, come on.
I'm the same. I see an offer and I'm thinking, that's a great offer, I'm really interested. But then I'm thinking, maybe not. Like, the maybes are still in my mind, but as soon as it gets to the deadline of the last 24 hours, I'm thinking, I don't want to miss out on this. Like, I think it's really good. And it's all of a sudden, we don't want to miss out. As humans, we really don't want to miss out. So then I'll buy those last, and I'll stop thinking about it because, you know, the emotion side of I don't want to miss out will take over. And I'll buy it because I don't want to regret not buying it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
By the FOMO, the fear of missing out. The letter C, conversion, talking about sales.
Yeah.
You need to design your offer. It needs to be encapsulated. So like, this is the way that like that you should, everything you sell, anytime you ever sell anything, this is the way you look at it. Think about it in a box. So people are going, what do I get? Do I get this plus do I get that plus do I get that? Yeah, it's in the box. And so if what you're selling is a service, you put it in a box by calling it something like it's a program, it's a product, it's a course, it's whatever you're calling it, but it needs to be encapsulated so that people know that anything that you're talking about that they're going to get is in there. At the workshop, everything you get is going to be in the workshop. Yeah. If that makes sense. So it's kind of, you come to the workshop, you get all these things we're talking about.
Yeah. I know a lot of people though that find the conversion part and making the sale really scary.
Yeah.
But what we'll actually be teaching you, if you're thinking, oh, that's a little bit scary actually doing the sale, is we're actually going to teach you the script of how to make a sale and the script to deal with and being able to assess what their response is and how to then respond back to them appropriately for maximum conversions. So that you get results and so that you're fully aware and you're never actually in the dark and you're always aware of actually what's going on because you can read people.
Yep.
And we're going to show you how to actually read people.
Absolutely. There's psychology that has never changed. The world has changed.
Marketing's
internet's
changed,
But the human nervous system has not changed in a very long time. And that's why people are more afraid still of public speaking, which can't kill them in any way that I can imagine right now, versus falling off a cliff, which is a genuine danger. Or like, why is rejection of selling? Your price points. What are you charging? Are you charging enough? Or are you trying to are you going a race to the bottom? And you might go like, well, I sell commodities. I sell things which are worth so little that somebody can turn up to my shop, bring their phone, tell me what the competition is charging. It's like, yeah, you know what you haven't done? You haven't created a connection. You haven't created emotion. You haven't created what we call green brain, which we'll talk all about.
Yeah, we'll talk about green brain. That's something to look forward to.
It's one of your favorites?
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites, the green bean, red brain, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah. How do you sell enough of what you're doing consistently all year round to make sure you're charging the right amount, you're advertising frequently enough, you're making sure that you're adding value sequences and then ads, then value sequences, then ads in a time frame that's not too short, not too long, but short enough that you can basically keep going.
Yeah. And speaking of keep going, the last letter of our track acronym that we're teaching you, just so you're fully aware of what we're saying when we say track, we've already been through the TRAC. The last letter K stands for keep. So like Scott was just saying, how you keep giving value. We want you to keep giving value, and keep giving value, because then after you've made the sale and the conversion, the previous, we don't want you to just lose that contact, because as soon as someone makes a sale, they're very likely to make another sale. Maybe they bought your ebook for $25. Maybe then your $2,000 product. If they've spent money with you, no matter if it's $10, they're still likely, as soon as they buy, they're likely to buy again. So we're going to teach you how to take advantage of that and give them more value. So what you can do is you can upsell to them. Say maybe it's a $300 product. We'll teach you how to upsell to a $1,000 product, or maybe they just did your $1,000 course, and then there was just a $1,000 course on maybe it's personal development. So then you can think, they've just done personal development. What maybe do they need to know next? You've just talked about public speaking. Maybe it's a specific focus on public speaking. And then we'll teach you how to actually give value to the public speaking and then sell the next course. And it's just this continual cycle.
With that customer journey map, well, that isn't just to basically warm subscribers up to get them to convert. It's also the customer journey map. It keeps going through the keep. So you can, you want to keep adding value, but you want them to keep coming back. And that's also the keep is a two-way street. You want to keep them, they want to keep you. So it's keep that relationship going.
Yeah, because why get rid of a great relationship when you're still able to give them value? So maybe you've sold one product, but I'm sure you have more than one product, or you could potentially have more than one product. So you can help them in more ways and solve more of their problems.
Yeah. And
then really you're not just getting clients through your lead pages and through traffic from Facebook. You've already got them, and it's really easy to then resell to them. Absolutely.
So we want you to come along. We want you to see us. Thank you, Story Driven Marketing team. We want you to come along. This workshop, we've kind of looked at with all the components, all the modules, all the things that we basically, when we teach this to people one-on-one, it's worth a lot. But even just the workshop itself, we value this at $997, which I think that it's worth 10 times that. Yeah. But we're doing a cheaper price than that for you guys. If you click on the link to find the dates, find the location, $47 for the day to come along and get this stuff done, at least the framework done with homework that you can finish.
A whole day, and we'll smash out so much content.
Yeah.
All of what we just said today, but in so much more detail, step by step. Answer your questions. That's what we're there for. If you have a question about your specific business and your specific needs, we're there to answer your questions.
Absolutely. Ask us.
Yeah.
We are there. That's what we are there for. And so it's worth it just for the connections that you'll make with the other people who come. We're talking about promotional partners.
Yeah.
Where do you find promotional partners?
We'll give you some promotional partners.
Look left, look right on the room. They will be sitting next to you.
Exactly. And the best thing too is, because we're going to be talking, and we're talking to all of you right now about promotional partners, you're all aware of it. So it's if you're, you don't even need to introduce the topic of promotional partners to them, because we've already educated them of how beneficial it is. So they're already super keen to collaborate with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we want you to click the link now. There's
Yeah.
limited spots, and limited we mean literally that we can only fit so many people into a room. We're only doing so many of these events. It's 47 for you if you click the link. Find the date, find the location, and we'd love to see you there because this is like a really exciting opportunity and we can't wait to meet you. We would like to see your work. We would love to see you grow. We would love to support you and your business. We'll see you there.
Looking forward to seeing you there.